It was one of the most horrifying incidents that has ever happened in Bannock County. 24 years ago, exotic African lions, ligers, and wolves that were housed in a ramshackle compound in Lava Hot Springs escaped into the community. The town went on lockdown. Children were not allowed to leave their homes. In fact, everyone was told to stay indoors, bring in pets, and lock down and protect their other animals as the lions were loose in the community. It was something that the residents and law enforcement will never forget. Now, I'm joined now by Bannock County Sheriff Lauren Nielsen. And Lauren, thank you so much for being here with us and talking about this incident. That must have just been absolutely terrifying for you and your officers to have to go out and be thrown in the middle of this African safari, essentially.
Yes, it was. They started out with just little kittens on display, 5 maybe at the most, and then got over 40. I was the second person on the call, and we had Mr. Fever on top of the compound. This thing was made with crates and baling wire, and of course when you have that many animals and you got males fighting for who's in charge, this was bound to happen.
And big, powerful, beautiful animals.
Oh, very much. We debriefed each other afterwards, and it was more for killing the animals, but we only killed those that were outside the compound.
Right.
We didn't have tranquilizer guns or anything to that effect that would be effective, because Fish and Game uses mountain lions. They're about 150 pounds. These things are about 400 or 500 pound animals.
And most of them starving.
They weren't in great health, no.
And acclimated to people, so they were not afraid.
They were not afraid of people.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is terrifying. And as you might guess, there was national and, in fact, international news coverage. We had several reporters on the scene. Now, we've gone back through our archives, and this is one of the reports that we did at the time.
They littered the edge of the compound, the bodies of 15 African lions, which managed to escape the confines of their makeshift pen. Bruce Hansen was the first to discover the loose animals when his headlights shined on one of the big cats on the road leading to his house. Hansen pulled the .270 rifle out of the window of his truck and shot the lion. He says having the cats as neighbors has been worrisome for him and his family.
I would say, would you be concerned if you had something like this in your backyard? I mean, you go down and look at some of the cages and the quality of workmanship, you'd be a little worried. I mean, you know, it's just packing crates and chicken wire and everything else.
Camouflage sharpshooters combed the surrounding hills, and the INEL's helicopter, complete with heat-seeking sensors, covered the area looking for more animals. But by late this afternoon, officials were confident all loose animals had been accounted for. Right now, authorities are worried about the ones on the inside, and they say even the owner doesn't know just how many there are.
That is our biggest dilemma right now. We don't know what to do with them. There is not a great demand for these type of animals in the United States in zoos. The zoos seem to have plenty of them. It's going to be a dilemma that we're going to have to seriously tackle, and that's our next big obstacle.
Officials from the Humane Society and a veterinarian from a Montana zoo were called in to help local officials assess the situation and decide what steps to take next. Idaho 8 reporter Doreen Johnson has that story.
And what did happen next was that you had some people reach out from some rescue areas from other parts of the country and come in and help them, right?
Yes, absolutely. One of the advantages of having the news coverage is that there was a person that rescues big cats, the Wildlife Waste Station, and they had the material, the manpower, the equipment. That news story was almost the day after, and this was 2 days later, and we had them up there. They were able to help capture, take care of, and transport back to her compound all the rest of those animals in about 3 days.
Wow. So for 3 days, essentially.